Welcome back to another episode of EndZoneBlog.com's Across the Middle Show. I'm your host, John Kuzma, and we're going to talk about what we might see in these divisional round games this weekend, pick some winners, and, just go through the matchups and kind of weigh each side and what, the outcome of each of these games might be. Let's start with the Packers and the Cowboys. If you put Aaron Rodgers in Dak Prescott's shoes a week ago, I believe there's no doubt in my mind that Aaron Rodgers would have done more than Dak Prescott did. I think he's better in crunch time situations. I think he's better when he's under fire like Dak Prescott was last weekend, just because the 49ers have such a good defensive line, with Nick Bosa, and just a great defense in general, with also guys like, Fred Warner, who are so instinctive and flow to the ball and know how to scrape and play sideline to sideline football and just flow wherever the play, develops. Aaron Rodgers is going to be better in those situations. There's no doubt about that. The guy is such a cerebral guy, and I know Dak Prescott's a better athlete than Aaron Rodgers is, but Aaron Rodgers just has a way of processing the game that is so far beyond Dak Prescott. And let's not forget that 49ers in Dallas game was actually really close. I think it was a 6-point game at the end. So is Aaron Rodgers going to give more than 6 points? To me, I'm buying. I would say yes, Aaron Rodgers would give more than the 6 points that the 49ers beat the Cowboys with this past weekend. So there's no doubt in my mind that Aaron Rodgers, and not just Aaron Rodgers, the Packers in a whole are better equipped to deal with that San Francisco defense, better equipped to deal with that San Francisco defensive line, and Nick Bosa, who, had that concussion last weekend from friendly fire. So, and even Fred Warner got, I think, banged up too. So, there's some concerns there for the 49ers health-wise. Obviously, they have a great coach in Kyle Shanahan, and guys like Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams are just so physical that they can just outmatch you sometimes. But I think the Packers are just better equipped. I think the Packers have been probably the best team in football up until this point. Probably would have had the best record of football if Aaron Rodgers didn't sit. I think it was that last game in the season, against the Lions, was it? But I think Devontae Adams is going to put up more than the Cowboys receivers did. And I know the Cowboys have really good receivers, but they really couldn't get anything going in that game offensively as a whole group. I think the Packers won't have those struggles against the 49ers. I'm going Packers. I know it's been a miracle run for the 49ers, but Green Bay is the better team. They should win this game. Not to mention, no one's talking about this, the 49ers are a California team that are going to go to Green Bay, where it's going to be freezing cold, where, the Packers deal with these elements all the time. They're used to it. I mean, I guess nobody's really used to it, but they're more familiar with it. And I definitely think that also tilts the odds a little bit in the Packers' favor. So I'm going Packers. Let's talk about some of the other games we got. Buffalo and Kansas City. And in this game, I like Buffalo. I think Josh Allen is just too dominant. I think he's too good for the Chiefs to stop him right now. I think he's got one of the strongest arms, if not the strongest arm in NFL history. And let's not forget that Josh Allen already went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs once. So the fact that he's going on the road doesn't concern me too much, because Josh Allen has already beat the Chiefs on the road. Yeah, it's going to be a hostile environment. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fans that are rooting on the Chiefs, and they're going to be a little more hostile than the first time around, because it's do or die. You either win or go home. But I still like the Bills. Josh Allen's just too good right now physically just so dominant. Not only that, the Bills are ascending and the Chiefs are regressing a little bit. Nothing against the Chiefs, but it's hard to stay on top in the hyper-competitive NFL. And the reality is most runs and most, regimes, they don't last that long. I mean, just because it is so competitive. I mean, the Chiefs won one Super Bowl, got to another Super Bowl, but I just don't see them beating the Bills. I think the Bills, have Josh Allen, who's right now making a case that, he's on the cusp of being the best quarterback in the NFL. I know Brady put up insane numbers this year. Justin Herbert's pretty good. Stafford's really good, but it's just a fact of the situation. Josh Allen has made huge progress throughout his career from where he was his rookie year when he couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. He was just a great athlete his rookie year who broke some of Michael Vick's rushing records. People don't really talk about that. Hurdling defenders, breaks Michael Vick's rushing record, some of his rushing records as a rookie, but he was so unpolished as a passer. And you look at him now, he's always had the big arm, but he didn't have the accuracy. Now he has the accuracy and the big arm and the athleticism, so it's just a total package. Now he's processing the game pre-snap better. He's making his reads, and he's trusting, what he sees, because as a quarterback, you're looking at the safeties. Are they playing one high and playing cover one or cover three? Or are they playing two high and running cover two or some other coverage? He's gotten better at those things and breaking things down and using that information to put his team in a position to succeed. And that's why the Bills are, really starting to take over the AFC side of the playoff bracket because Josh Allen has made all this tremendous progress. And not only that, the Bills have the best defense in the NFL in all these different categories. And if you go back and watch that first Bills and Chiefs game, the pocket was collapsing fast on Patrick Mahomes. He was running for his life a lot. Now, if there's anything for the Chiefs that is going to help them, they'll have Chris Jones in this game. But the Bills won that first game so convincingly in Arrowhead. And it looks like after they torched the Patriots last weekend, the Bills might be better now than they were then. I'm going Bills, Maybe things turn out different. You never know in the NFL, especially in the playoffs. The margins are so slim, so competitive. Any game can go either way in the playoffs, but I'm still going Bills. Then the other game I want to talk about, and this is going to be the last one I talk about. I'm not going to do the Bengals game, but I am going to talk about the Rams and the Bucks. And in the Rams and the Buccaneers game, the Rams just might be a more complete team than the Bucks. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I know a lot of people love Tom Brady. And who doesn't love Tom Brady? I mean, he's going for his 8th Super Bowl ring. Just a legendary run himself. But I'm going Rams because the Rams are so explosive. And they took all these gambles. And every single gamble paid off. Every single one. You go back and look at the moves they made. Trade in for Sony Michel. Good pickup. Trade in for Von Miller. At first, when he was getting integrated with the team, it was, I wouldn't say slow because he actually played pretty good early on, but he's really clicking now. He's really settled in, gelled with his teammates, got used to going from the Broncos to the Rams and playing for a new team and living in a new city and all the things that go with that change. And now he's clicking and firing on all cylinders at the right time. So the Von Miller trade, great move. Odell Beckham Jr. signing, when everybody was saying Odell Beckham Jr. is a problem child. Don't sign that guy. Remember, he went unclaimed on waivers. And then the Rams sign him, and he's been playing some of the best football of his career. That's like one of the best signings the Rams ever had, ever. And that's a big reason they have a chance to get over the hump. It's not just Odell alone. It's Odell. It's Von Miller. It's Sony Michel. It's all these moves they made. They stayed aggressive every step of the way. They weren't content with just what they had. And they kept improving their team and improving their team every chance they got. And now all these different components are heating up at the right time. And I just think right now the Rams are a better team. And let's not forget, they also beat the Bucs in the regular season, like the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season. And just like the Bills, there's no doubt that the Rams are a better team than they were earlier in the year. The Bills are a better team now just because they've gotten better with the guys they have. But the Rams are a better team now because they've acquired Sony Michel, because they've acquired Odell Beckham Jr., and because they've acquired Von Miller. And by the way, they also got Cam Akers back. Cam Akers he's a missile running downhill. I mean, this guy is a physical specimen. He's so explosive. So you got Odell Beckham Jr., injecting some explosiveness into this team, but you also have Cam Akers who's doing the same thing. His return is doing the same thing for the Rams. And with all these things aligning, all their stars aligning at the right time, I just think they're going to beat the Buccaneers. I really do. And the Rams don't have all these injuries that the Bucs have. The Bucs are banged up, man. Like, no Godwin's going to hurt them. Antonio Brown's not there anymore. Those were pieces that they needed to win last year that they don't have now. And Tom Brady's great, but we saw in his final year in New England that even Tom Brady needs help around him if he's going to win. So you can't downplay that. He's got great leadership, and he's always got more out of less. But when you get to the playoffs and these teams are this good and we're this late in, the whole season as a whole, even late in the postseason at this point, there's not a lot of teams left. The bad teams have been weeded out. These teams are all great. And in a hyper competitive setting like the NFL playoffs, you lose a Chris Godwin and you lose an Antonio Brown, and you lose in the playoffs. That's just the way it goes. So I'm going Rams in that one too. I'm going to stay off the Bengals game. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out endzonblog.com. I appreciate you guys for listening. I'm John Kuzma. I'm signing off.